Located inside Ram Company in the industrial park of St. George, Airborne ECS is already looking to expand. Just like its parent company, Airborne ECS also caters to defense and the aerospace industry. Ram Manufacturing became 51% owner of Airborne in May of 2019.
Actually, I was working at Ram and I pitched the Ram board on investing in this company, and they did, and then eventually we made a play to become the majority owners.
Airborne ECS designs and assembles environmental control systems for defense aircraft, among others. The company makes the world's lightest, most cost-effective systems using composite and 3D printed materials, all designed in-house.
The thought was, if we had better thermal management, now we can do things like have electric aircraft, or we can do hypersonics, or we can go have more efficient space travel, things like that.
The newly designed technology not only cuts down on heat, but can produce more power and is lightweight, giving more control of dynamic performance.
For example, what you're looking at here is a microtube heat exchanger. And what that is it's an ultra-efficient heat exchanger that utilizes thousands of tiny tubes. So if you were to think of like syringe needles, taking 8,000 syringe needles and bundling them together and then laser welding them together to get more efficient heat transfer. So that's one of our core technologies.
McCann said what started out in 2016 with 6 employees has now grown threefold.
So there were 6 of us initially last year, and we ended up hiring a couple more people, but I think we started this year with 9, most of which are engineers, and then now at the end of the year we'll have 25.
With contracts and commitments in place, that number is about to expand again over the next 7 years, adding a total of 73 more new positions. Many of those hand-chosen workers will be mechanical engineers, making around $75,000 a year or more. Those higher-paying jobs are welcomed by the city of St. George.
They represent everything that we're trying to accomplish in St. George from a local perspective, growing our companies from the ground up and allowing them to have a place where they can recruit the kind of talent that they need to bring in. Airborne will have a lot of engineering positions that are really important to our economy and provide some of those jobs that we want our local kids to be able to stay here and have.
Airborne ECS's new building will overlook St. George on Tech Ridge and will be built among other high-tech companies.
The space that we have here is only 9,000 square feet. Up there we're going to have 60,000 square feet, and probably about 20,000 of that will be floor space. And where we're not doing a lot of manufacturing per se, we're really doing, if you think about like model building, where we're taking in, we're having these key components built elsewhere, and then we're bringing them in and we're putting them together here, and then we're testing them. So we're shipping the full system, right?
Quayle believes the expansion of Airborne ECS will be another great move towards the city of St. George's Tech Ridge goals.
So when we talk about our tech ecosystem here, and Tech Ridge is a key part of this, we're talking about not just software and IT and software as a service, which is incredibly important, but we're talking about biotech and aerospace and all of the different complementary industries and sectors that go around that. So materials science and high-tech manufacturing. So all of those pieces are a part of what Airborne does. They have a little bit of all of that.
So part of our appeal is this live, work, play, philosophy that you have in St. George. It takes 10 minutes to get to work. You look at Tech Ridge and that development, it's beautiful, but it also speaks to, it almost aligns with our vision perfectly for what the future looks like. You don't need to live in LA anymore. You don't need to live in Seattle. You can live in a place like this and do something that's meaningful, and that speaks to a lot of people.
McCann said Airborne ECS plans to begin construction of its new building and expanding the company in late 2021. And by harnessing new data and technology, they will increase custom production over the next 10 years.
And so we have this group of people that is just super dedicated to doing something that's never been done, and to innovation and high-end engineering. So we're going to continue to innovate, and we want to do that here in St. George, and it's going to be a wild ride. We're excited for it.
In St. George, Melissa Anderson, Community Education News.